By the end of this video, you guys are going to be able to learn my exact 4-step strategy for trading gold, and that has actually helped my community lock in some serious profits. Before we begin as well, I just want you guys to know that this trade that I'm going to be showing you guys is actually a live trade signal that I did send out to the group, in which you can see the screenshot right now, and I'm going to be providing testimonials along the entire video, so make sure you guys stay until the end for that one. So for the first step, you guys should always prioritize identifying higher time frame market direction, because if you're not going to be able to understand or the higher time frame sentiment that's actually telling you, you're going to be very confused when you're actually trading in the lower time frames and you don't know which levels are going to be invalidation points. So during this time, what I specifically did is I just went to the weekly first, and when I was looking at the weekly alone, I knew that gold was overall in such a bullish trend. We're just breaking constant all-time highs. The next step, I also did prioritize looking at the daily, and what did we see from the daily alone is we were able to create this low right here, and we're also able to create this high right here. So that means we're able to have this simple trading range from this low and another trading range all the way from this high. And with that alone, you can actually take a look that market is just creating highs, breaking resistance, and none of the supports were taken out. Now, I wouldn't say that we're actually bearish yet until we were able to break this low, but as of the moment, we're able to just have a breakout right here. We're able to get some minor breakout, but not really a break of structure. So for me, in the back of my mind, I already knew that overall our direction or our bias is long, so we want to be taking a lot of long positions. So for the second step for this entire 4-step simplified strategy is that I simply just went to the 4 hours time frame and started to look for a very clean level to look for an entry. Remember guys, look for an entry level. Okay, you won't be finding your point of interest in an area that you want to be taking your positions in. So from this alone, I was able to see that overall H4 is clearly bullish. But then looking to the current market price, we're actually sitting here. What I did first is I went to the 1 hour time frame and I started to identify some very clean structures. You can see the market is just creating constant highs from this low all the way to the high, all the way to this low, and all the way to the high. This trading pattern that you're actually seeing right now is such a very simple idea, or a very simple way that the market's telling you that it just wants to keep going higher. So from this time right here, we were able to see a market structure BOS all the way from the top. So from that idea alone, the next step I did is just refine my levels to start taking for another entry. So what I did over here is we can see that we did have a very clean demand level here. So after looking at the H1, I went to the 15 minutes, and from the 15 minutes time frame, I did just mark this specific level right here. Now the reason for that is that you can actually take a look that market went all the way to the lows, had a very clean consolidation, and a sudden breakout to the upside that was breaking multiple structure. Now from that alone, you can see that that was actually the candle that was the first engulfing candle before the big rally to the upside. You can also mark this area as a potential demand level as well, but the thing that I did here is just mark this top level. Now not only that, we're able to get a very simple break of structure, and we were able to take liquidities all the way to the lows. You can see the multiple wick rejections from the downsides over here, and market pumped to the upside. So that means that this level is a very clean, or quote-unquote safe level, because it is in the most extreme point of interest. Now the third step is gonna be identifying your sessions. Being able to identify your session is very crucial. It is very important, because I'm sure that you guys do know within this entire series is that I always preach to avoid trading Asia. I know there's some people that are able to make money during Asia, but I myself is that the volatility of Asia is not that good. I would really say that. Like, if you are a beginner trader, I highly suggest you guys to avoid Asia and to only trade New York specifically. So New York or London, but New York will always take the #1 spot. So with that out of the way, if we're gonna be looking into our timings over here, you can see that this setup is actually on the start of New York Open. So it's 8:45 all the way New York, right? So it's actually New York Open already. So now we're able to identify the third step. After the third step, the fourth step is to be able to identify the liquidity points and the inducement points before you take your entry. Now you can actually take a look over here in the 30 minutes time frame. There's actually a very clean area here, which I would just call as liquidity areas, because if you guys take a look over here, you can see that this low, right, once it got swept out, there's a sudden push to the upside over 38 pips move. So that alone just shows that there's actually liquidity just sitting there. Even here, you can see that market was actually generating liquidity by providing equal lows. So now what did I do next is I just specifically waited. Okay, I just waited right here. Now you can see that market was just generating liquidity for our point of interest. So if you guys take a look over here, you see that market is just consolidating. Now you can see that once market went to the downside again, there's a sudden push to the upside. That means there's just multiple liquidities being generated, sponsoring our point of interest, which is this blue zone right here. So now the next step that I did is I just set my limit entries all the way to this level, stop loss all the way right here, and then the TP, right, I smashed around 120 pips as well. That was sitting around 3RR. And then before I play the setup, there's gonna be a screenshot right now for this specific setup in which I actually did call that as a limit entry. You can see that what happened next will blow your mind, because once prices started to rally to the downside, you can see that market tapped us in such a beautiful manner. You can see that instant tap of price action, an instant sniper entry all the way to this lows, started to pump all the way to the upside, smashing our TPs for a very clean 3RR. And then I'm gonna be popping in the screen right now for the testimonials that there's actually people that were able to follow this trade, since this was a trade limit order. Now, with that in the way, that is my entire 4-step strategy that's actually simplified for beginners, that is easy for you guys to learn, easy for you guys to follow. And remember, if you guys do want to have access to my signals, make sure you press the link down below. Make sure you guys join Surge Notify, which you can actually find in the link down below. If you guys want to see more contents like this, make sure you guys press the subscribe button, especially the notification bell, and then the like button. I will be seeing you guys in the next video. Goodbye.